Hey everyone, Felipe here. Welcome to another Tower of Saviors GNN review video. It's been a while since I've done one of these, but as you can hear, my voice is definitely better. I still have a slight, very small cough, but feeling definitely way better than the last installation of the GNN review. And this time, hopefully, I won't be in as much pain as before. So, this week, we have some more Super Sailor Moon collaboration news for you all, starting with Super Sailor Uranus, which is going to be the cover for this week's news. So, without further ado, let's get started. We do have let's see what we have this week. We have Super Sailor Uranus Challenge Mission, as well as the Chain Battles, which is going on um, throughout the collaboration. We also have a new collector's deck, which is going to feature the Nova H series. And we'll talk more about it when we get there, but I do have some thoughts that what may happen, and also collaboration or collector's decks are also complicated in terms of what I think about them. But yeah, for the challenge mission of Super Sailor Uranus, we're going to have the usual, which is going to be the level 1 and level 2, and we also get the exclusive Dragonware Space Sword, which is going to be specific Dragonware for Uranus. And so we will take a look at her active skill. She is going to be, interestingly, a light human card with a CD7 skill and has the following effect. Skill CD of Super Sailor Neptune -1. Tap one row to turn it into Enchanted Light and Enchanted Heart runes. Electrify all enemies for 1 round to inactivate them, as well as to change the attribute for the enemy's attribute to the leader's counter attribute. For 1 round, the character's attack times 6, and Super Sailor Guardian members or Sailor Guardian members will have damage dealt regardless of trio and quintet elemental shield. In my opinion, this active skill is actually pretty good. There is a lot of utility in here. There's runestone conversion, there's runestone conversion. There's skill cooldown reduction for Sailor Neptune, which honestly I think that's the weakest part of this skill. But you can also electrify enemies. You can inactivate them. You can also alter their attributes into the leader's counter attribute. And this one doesn't have any conditions. So if there is another leader that comes out in the future, you can still put Sailor Uranus in the team and still benefit from this effect. Additionally, the character herself will get a times 6 attack bonus, which is going to make it a really good burst skill. And if you're running a Sailor Guardian team, you will deal damage regardless of trio and quintet elemental shield. In my opinion, this card is really good, especially if you're planning on running her in a Sailor Guardian team, because as I said before, she has a lot of utility, and I think she is one of the more powerful cards from this collaboration. Even if you're not running Sailor Guardians, I do think her active skill can be used with other leaders in the game, as well as any future leaders that can slot her in because of the utility she provides. Um, Again, Light Human is really good because Sailor Moon is a Light Human, and if you ever want to clear a Mono Light achievement with Sailor Moon, you will need as many light Sailor Guardians as you can because that's how you benefit the most out of her team skill and leader skill. So, Sailor Uranus will definitely be a good option for you for that. She also has a team skill, which I'm guessing is going to be the crab. Oh, no, never mind. There is more to her. There is a Super Sailor Uranus in the team. So, this is basically your passive skill. And this is really good because no matter what, it will activate as long as she's in the team. Each time Super Sailor Uranus activates its active skill, change the state of Sailor Guardians from fatigue into hyperstate, and Sailor Guardian members will enter a hyperstate for 2 rounds. And then you have Crystal Power, which is going to be the craft skill, which we already covered in the last GNN review. But in my opinion, this passive skill is actually going to be really good. Not only in a Sailor Guardian team, because in a Sailor Guardian team, this is insane. Every member will get a hyperstate for 2 rounds, and that is going to be a lot of damage increase. But even then, like I said before, if you decide to use Sailor Uranus in another leader's team, this will also benefit you not only, well, maybe not for the entire team, but for Sailor Uranus herself. And this hyper state plays really, really nicely with her character times 6, which essentially makes it a times 12. Because when you activate the skill, you are going to get this hyper state no matter what. And in my opinion, I think that's a really good passive and also makes it even better card for you to obtain because you can run it both in Sailor Guardians and in other leaders as well. So in my opinion, definitely worth getting at least one copy of Sailor Uranus, getting it to dual max because it is a really powerful card. Um, but yeah, this is also good if you decide to use character runes because character runes will give you a fatigue state. But if you use Uranus um, active skill, you will actually flip that over and you will not have to pay the price for using a character rune as long as you can activate Sailor Uranus' team skill. So that's just a small utility added value to her, but I think she is a really powerful card. Next, we have her exclusive Dragonware, which is always a no-brainer to get. Plus, you are getting a copy of this Dragonware whenever you clear level 2, which if you're farming for Uranus, you might as well do it, and you will get a free copy of this exclusive Dragonware. And we're not going to worry about the craft skills because you're not going to be running Sailor Uranus as a leader. But in terms of the Dragonware skills, let's see, stat boosting, and oh, -2 CD after entering the stage. Honestly, you are always going to be running exclusive Dragonware because they're always a stat bonus for your cards. But CD -2 active skill after entering the stage is a really, really good Dragonware effect. Normally, you see people running, or myself, I run -1 crafts on all of my cards because I want my active skills to be ready as fast as possible. -2 is even better. Granted, it does only work on Uranus, but I think -2 active skill CD after entering the stage is going to be a really good thing. So definitely get this Dragonware if you can. Again, you might already get one as you're farming for Sailor Uranus. So yeah, that's going to be that for Sailor Uranus, and we're going to have the new chain battles, which is ongoing. We've already had the water version and the fire version, and now we're going to have the earth version, which is going to be Junjun. And Junjun is going to be an earth elf with a CD5 skill and has the following effect. The Helenia and other Amazonas Quartet members skill cooldown -1. Explode the column below the character to generate enchanted earth runes. And for 1 round, Sticky will be nullified and damage received will be lowered by 50%. For every extra Amazonas Quartet member in the team, the skill stays in play for 1 extra round to the max of 4 rounds. Honestly, CD5 is fast, but the contents of this skill are a little bit underwhelming. You don't really get much from this active skill, and it seems to have some synergy with the other Amazonas Quartet cards. The thing is, all the Amazonas Quartet cards are not super powerful, which means that, in my opinion, I do think it is better to run other cards with more utility than the Amazonas Quartet cards. However, I do still recommend for you to get enough merits to get at least one copy of this one because you are going to need it for the last card in the collaboration, which will require you to get every single card from the collaboration, including the chain battle ones. So definitely get at least one copy for the index and for the collection bonus. But in my opinion, in terms of utility, this card will probably stay in my inventory and I will not be using it that much, I don't think. But yeah, and it looks like that's it for Sailor Moon uh, collaboration news, which is interesting because we still have a lot on my side scroll bar, which I guess it is going to be reserved for the collector's deck, and I'm excited to see what we have. But yeah, we have the new collector's deck, which is going to be Sparkling Idol Fest, the Nova H series. And if you're new to the game and this is your first collector's deck, here's how it works. You are going to have a pool of, is it 20? Um, 20 draws, yes, 20 draws. And within these 20 draws, there are going to be 5 new characters. And these new characters will have active skills from previous collaboration cards. These collaboration cards are highly unlikely to be rerun, if impossible that Madhead can bring them back because of intellectual property rights, contracts, and things like that. So those collaboration cards may not come back to the game. However, those active skills were really, really good, so it would be a shame for new players to be locked out of those active skills. And so what Madhead does is they bring back those active skills, put them in original cards, and stick them into collector's deck. And so I predict this is going to be the same thing that is happening here. We still do, or I still don't know which collaboration cards these are. So let's take a look at them together. Um, Collector's Deck, Sparkling Idol Fest, guaranteed every 20 draws. So yeah, here we have the content of the Collector's Deck. We have the 5 new characters: Nocturne, Virginia, Aurea, Himiko, and Aria. And here's the thing that I was worried about is that the other 15 cards are just materials. And I think one of the biggest complaints I have about the collector's deck. Don't get me wrong, I love it when Madhead brings back collaboration active skills. And collector's deck is such a good thing because it gives new players the ability to access active skills that would otherwise be impossible to get anymore because the collaboration is not coming back. However, spending 5 diamonds for one single harpy is honestly not that efficient in terms of diamond spending, especially for free to play people. 5 diamonds for one harpy is a very, very expensive cost. In my opinion, I would rather pull on a black gold banner or on a collaboration banner because even if you don't get the jackpot card, you are still getting something that can be used at utility or things like that. For example, you might be able to get a Yocto or a Florist if you don't have it, and these cards have good utility. But if you get a Harpy, you just spend 5 diamonds for a Harpy. You know what else you can do to get a Harpy? You can clear an ultimate stage and you get a Harpy for free. And if you can clear this stage without diamonds, not only do you get 1 diamond for the clear reward, you also get a Harpy. So why do you want to spend 5 diamonds on 1 Harpy, you know? That's the biggest complaint I have about this seal. Is this going to make it that such that you don't want to pull for these 5 cards? I don't know until we take a look at their active skills. But yeah, so Miss Idols will there is a new trait which is Miss Idols. The Nova H series, as well as the Idol debut, which is the last collectors that we have, will all share this new archetype. And I think that is going to come with some team skills and some bonuses. So it's always good to have a new active skill. So we have the new card here, Kaleido Keyboard and Nocturne, which is going to be a water elf. And here's the thing too. Well, I mean, her leader skill is Attack times 6, 1.3, dissolving, yada yada yada. So on paper, this is an okay leader skill. However, the baseline for it times 6 is actually pretty low. And here's the other thing too about collector's deck is that even though some of these cards will have the same leader skill as their original counterparts, because it's been so long since that collaboration came out, those cards are typically already power crept as leaders, and they're only here for their active skills. So unless the leader skill is different, severely different, I don't think I'm gonna spend too much time on it because I do think they're all probably, I don't know, they're all probably going to be on the lower end of the damage spectrum and not that usable in higher level content or endgame content. But yeah, times 6, pretty low. So this leader skill, unless she has a team skill, no, her team skill is just like one line. So definitely not worth using as a leader, and that's what I mean, you know. But her team skill is skill minus CD, skill CD minus 25 after entering the stage. Oh, her skill is CD 20. Oh, you know, I know what this is. Skill CD 25. Fully recover HP for 99 rounds at the end of the round. Fully recover your HP. Attack of Miss Idol's members times 3. This is Zombie Gamer from the Kamen Rider series. That's the only card that I remember that has such a long cooldown for their skill, and the effect is actually not that great. Don't get me wrong, fully recovering your HP is really good in certain scenarios, but in TOS, it is always better to kill your enemy in one shot than to stall it out. And this is because if the enemy dies, it will not hit you, and you will not need HP recovery. However, this does become really useful in times where your recovery is locked, or if you're running a team that has very low recovery. But Nocturne is an elf, and elf have good recovery, so not really that useful. And this active skill specifically is also very vulnerable to cooldown reset or effect clearing enemies. If there is a cooldown reset at the beginning of the round, you still have to wait 25 rounds. If the enemy clears your 99 rounds of full HP recovery, now you have to wait 25 rounds before you can activate it. So even though the skill may be useful, the super long cooldown is a really big hindrance because 25 is really long. And even though you do get minus 25 after entering the stage, if you get reset, that's it. You lose that utility and you don't get to use that anymore. So honestly, I think this active skill is really bad. Zombie Gamer was never saw play either. Um, so I'm unsure why they decided to use Zombie Gamer of all cards to bring back. But yeah, next we have Virginia. Let's see, Team Misairos, Team times 7. Okay, times 7 is not bad. Still on the lower end. The more attributes dissolved, times 3, times 7 is times 3, and damage reduction. Okay, not a bad leader skill. Do we have? Ooh, we do have team skills. If the leader is Virginia, infuse craft apparatus with idle power. Upon completion of runestone movement, tap a runestone as the center of a 3 times 3 square to generate enchanted runes. If water, fire, or earth runes are exploded, team attack times 2 additionally for 1 round, and for each heart rune exploded, recover 10,000. Oh, wait, this is Gurren Lagann. This is Simon, evolved Simon form. Skill cooldown minus 8 after entering the stage, and there's a yeah. Available times of activation of Dragonical Potion +1 upon combination, not exceeding the limit. Combination. I mean, yeah, Simon, Gurren Lagann. Does that mean we have a super mega califragilistic Gurren Lagann version 2.0? That would be exciting. So, honestly, here's the thing. Gurren Lagann was such a meta defining combination card that for the 1 year after it was released, everyone was using Gurren Lagann teams. And because of the team skill that came with Gurren Lagann teams, a lot of stages were really easy with a Gurren Lagann team from all the dodging or all the damage dodging that you did. And so if they're bringing this back, it does give the chance for new players to experience a 5 card combination. Um, but you know, that's really insane. Um, but yeah, so we'll have to see because so far the 2 cards that we saw are not the 2 cards that are not part of the same like Gurren Lagann team. So it might be like something else, you know? But yeah, so this is Evolved Simon. The active skill is Evolve Simon, basically release lock skills of Miss Idols, explode Petrify runes to and bottom 3 rows to generate all 6 attributive runes and heart runes. And you get a times 5 attack boost and deal damage regardless of defense if your craft is fully charged. Um, really good active skill, honestly. Evolve Simon, a pretty good card as well. So, in my opinion, I think this one's like a really good active skill. And if, you know, you get Gurren Lagann from it, it might be worth getting this card. But yeah, next we have Shiny Heart Stealer Aurea, which is going to be a Earth Elf. Actually, this leader skill doesn't look too bad. Team attack times 7, HP and recovery times 1.5, but you get an additional times 2 if you dissolve Earth, plus an additional times 2 if you dissolve Heart, plus an additional 1.5 if you dissolve both. This is going to be a 28, that's a 42 times 42 baseline, which is not bad, especially if you run dual leader and ally. Might deal some good damage, but again, it is still on the lower end of the damage spectrum. But honestly, not a bad leader skill. And we do have some decent team skill, extra movement time, Tumbler if your HP is full. All attributed rune stones possess 400% of heart runes, which is good because you will recover HP and then you get your Tumbler back. Heart runes possess the effect of all attributed rune stones, nice. And recovery surplus will become full attack regardless of enchanted runestone shield. Nice. Actually, all like really good team skills. It's just that you are lacking a little bit on the shield breaking and utility department. In terms of damage, I think it is there, and recovery and tankiness, it's also there. So I do think as a leader, this card might be pretty good. But again, doesn't compare to the newest cards, you know? So for her active skill, which is the thing we're most interested on, is going to be CD6. Upon skill activation and at the end of each round, turn the bottom row into enchanted heart runes. By dissolving all heart in the first batch, the leader launches an extra water attack. Skill can be deactivated anytime. Upon deactivation of the skill, explode all runestones and fully recover HP. This is It took me a while to realize it, but I think this is Mothra from the Godzilla series. And that was a really good free to play card and a free collaboration. And honestly, I wish Matt had did more of those. But this is a really good card. And honestly, a really good addition for any card that wants a lot of heart runes. Like elf cards, because they can recover a lot. So being an earth elf with generation of heart runes, definitely a good thing. And you can also deactivate this skill anytime, which gives you more flexibility. So honestly, this is also a pretty good card. Next we have Darling Stereo Himiko. When the team has only Miss Idols, humans or dragons, so she is a light dragon card. For every group of runestone dissolved, EX combo count +1 to the max of 12. Team attack times 7. When more than 6 EX combos are made, team attack times 2. Light possesses 50% of all their attributed runestones, and Heart also possesses 50% of all attributed runestones. By dissolving both Light and Hearts, team attack increases by 1.5 additionally. Honestly, not a bad team skill, especially because it's such a big paragraph. The EX combo count thing is kinda nice, but EX combo count does not replace combo count, and I think combo count is better, but EX combo count is still kinda good. But yeah, again, still on the lower side of the spectrum because team attack times 7 is already low in the current meta. We're dealing with cards that are times 8, times 9, times 10. So times 7 is definitely usable, but not enough. But yeah, team skill, pretty short team skill, extra runes of movement time, 65% damage reduction, and the higher the EX combo count, the higher the leader's attack to the max of times 7. Um, Honestly, not bad, but same thing, same reasoning. Not that great in terms of leader because all these collaboration cards have already been power crept. Her active skill though, CD8, by tapping a runestone on the magic circle of elements 2 times, turn 18 runestones at fixed positions into enchanted runes of the top types. For 1 round, the damage received will not lead to your defeat, and team will not be poisoned. Oh, not poison. You know what? This is Alphonse from the Full Metal Alchemist collaboration. And it took me the active skill to realize because I do not remember every single leader skill that I read whenever I play the game. But this active skill is Alphonse from the Full Metal Alchemist series, and in my opinion, is a really good utility card because it prevents poisoning and it also prevents defeat for 1 round. And while poisoning is situational, being able to ignore it is really good in my opinion. So this card is good, and this is one of the rare times where the new character has a different race to the original one. And Alphonse is a Machina, but Himiko is a dragon. And this is good because even if you already have Alphonse for utility, getting Himiko will give you still some value because it is a different race. And because of that, you could slot her in different teams that you wouldn't be able to put Alphonse in. And so there is still some value to having a card with the same active skill but a different race. Same thing with like Dragon Yoko, like Javanor. Yoko is such an overpowered card, but now that we have a dragon version of it, you can put her in dragon teams without any penalty. So honestly, this card has a pretty good active skill, uh, albeit a little bit situational. Next, we have the dark version, dark card, which is Bewitching Guitarist Aria, which is a dark demon. This leader skill is a little bit underwhelming compared to the other ones, so I think I'm just gonna skip it because my throat is starting to act up a little bit. Um, Team skill, 1 line, and it is tied to a black and white zone, which is already pretty rare in my opinion. We don't have that many black and white zones in the game anymore since we have other annoying shields to deal with. But yeah, in terms of team skill and leader skill, I don't think you should run Arya as a leader, you know. But her active skill, let's take a look at it. CD8. By ignite all enemies to change their attributes into fire, lower their defense to 0, and deal a fire damage as much as 400 times the character's attack basic value to them each round until defeated. While the effect is in play, the character's attack increases by 4 times, and damage dealt will be regardless of enemy's specific damage reducing resistance. That line right there is only possessed by a few cards in the game, and one of them is the Nightmare Stage boss card from the 7 Deadly Sins, which is Chandler. And honestly, that Nightmare Stage was really hard, I remember. And so if you didn't get that card, his active skill was actually kind of useful at different times. And so if you have the chance to get Arya through diamonds, it might be good as opposed to like spending 10 diamonds and not being able to clear the nightmare stage. But yeah, so in my opinion, the active skill is actually pretty good. It has good utility. You ignite the enemies, you reduce their defense, um, you deal more damage, and you can also ignore damage reducing resistance, which is honestly a really good ability because sometimes not being able to do that may result in death for certain teams. So honestly, this is also a really good card. So actually, no, we have one more thing. There is a combination, Light of Idols Nova H. When there are characters of Nova H in the team, you can activate the combined skill, the top idols, to combine all 5 characters into Light of Idols Nova H. So it doesn't seem like you need to have a specific leader, you just need to have all 5 of them in a single team in order to activate this combine. And the combine skill is when there is yada yada yada, all 5 of them in the team, they will combine into a new character. Field of Miss Idols will increase by 50%. You will fully recover your HP, fully charge your craft apparatus, and for 99 rounds, after dissolving runestones, the first batch of runestones to be dropped will be Fire, Light, Dark, and Heart. And this is already different from the Gurren Lagann, because Gurren Lagann, the 99 rounds, will drop Fire, Earth, Water, and Heart. So the attributes is already different. And yeah, here, um, the attribute of the combination is going to be a Light Machina, which is different from the Fire Machina that was Gurren Lagann. And I do believe the team attack is increased as well because I think Gurren Lagann was lower team attack times 8. Not bad, but I wish it would be higher. But this is still workable, especially if you have all the utility that comes with the 5 card combination. But yeah, for the team skill we have the ally is a Miss Idol member. We have all runestone possession effect. All runestones possess 25% of heart runes, so you don't need to worry about recovery. Extend the runestone movement time. You do launch an extra fire attack. And at the end of the round, turn all runestones into enchanted Machina runes. Sticky is nullified. Single attack becomes full attack. The leader attack increases additionally with each wave to the max of times 10, and you will acquire Shining Idol power. This is word for word Gurren Lagann's team skill. You get all the things of Gurren Lagann, and you also get the Broken Craft effect. If you haven't played it, or if you're new to the game, let me run you down through this. When you click the craft skill, you will use up 100% of your charge, but you will not use one of your dragon craft uses. But in exchange of that 100% charge, what you get is 2 rounds of full invulnerability from any enemy attack. Even if the enemy attacks you 10 times, all damage is reduced to 0, and you will dodge all those attacks. This also includes HP reduction skills, 100% HP reduction, and things like that. 2 rounds of this. This is insanely broken, and the great thing about Gurren Lagann teams is that they could fully charge their craft in 2 rounds, which means that when the 2 rounds were over, you would just activate your craft skill again and be fully invulnerable for 2 more rounds. And basically you would basically stun lock your opponent and you would never die. So honestly, this is really good. But yeah, we just have to see if they are able to charge their craft in 2 rounds, and that is going to be what determines if they're as good as Gurren Lagann or not. We also have both Gurren Lagann active skills, CD3 and CD6. The first one, CD3, inactivates your enemy and increases your attack, and also increases your combo count. You also captivate all enemies, but CD3 crowd control, CD3 combo increase, honestly one of the better skills in the game, if anything. For the CD6 effect, you add 3 rows on top of the 5 rows that you already have, and these rows will be fixed attribute, and so they will be fixed fixed number of runes and attributes. So 3 enchanted water runes, 3 enchanted fire, earth, light, dark, and heart. And runestone movement time increases. 4 extra attacks are launched. Ignore puzzle shield, ignore fixed combo shield. You do enter a fatigue state at the end of the round, but it is fine because you are dodging the enemy's attack with your craft skill anyways. And the good thing about a fixed board is that this is going to help you with um, equal combo shield, number shields, also um, yeah, all those like annoying new shields that require certain attributes, things like that. Having a board with all 6 of them is going to make your life easier. So honestly, two very good active skills. Um, the only thing holding it back is that you do require all 5 of them in order to access this combination card. And so, going back to that, collector's deck. In my opinion, I do think the Gurren Lagann combination is really powerful, but is it powerful enough to cost 100 diamonds? Honestly, I think the if the leader multiplier were higher, I think it would be a definitely yes to get it. But the leader multiplier is only times 8. And one of your requirements is to have a Miss Idol as your ally. And as we covered before, the Miss Idol leader skills have really low multipliers for the current meta. Times 6, times 7. They're not that great, and you also need one of them to be a Makina. So realistically, you are going to have to run you have to run Virginia. Because otherwise you only have one Makina and you don't get your Makina attributes. So you have to run Virginia, which, you know, her leader skill was times 7. So you are going to be overall, your damage output is going to be good, but I feel like it's going to get power crept really quickly. So yeah, so there's that, and you have to spend 100 diamonds for it. In my opinion, I think it's better to wait for a better collaboration or another black gold card to drop, because at the very least, if you don't get the jackpot card, you're still spending those 5 diamonds to getting a character card that you may need, as opposed of getting like materials that you can get through rewards or through like events and things like that. I don't think spending 5 diamonds is worth getting resources like that. And I do think, in terms of diamond efficiency, collector's deck, the active skills and the cards themselves are not worth 100 diamonds. They are really good, don't get me wrong, but I don't think they're worth 100 diamonds for only 5 cards, you know? But yeah, so those are my thoughts about the collector's deck. There is also a Melodia gift pack. Oh, okay. Once you reach 100% fuel with Virginia or Light of Idols Nova H, you do get a new song going on in the background, which is pretty nice, performed by Yuki. And if you purchase the gift pack, you can get that song permanently and use it as your background music. And you get the outfits of all 5 Nova H cards, which are these ones down. Here, I think. Wait, no, that's the same. Well, you do get five different outfits for if you purchase a gift pack. That one, I have no opinions. I will say just prioritize your financial health first so that you're not spending money that you don't have in a game because ultimately it is just a game. Following the Nova Age release, there is a new Christmas Winter Fest event, which is a new item collecting event. And if you're new to the game and this is your first item collecting event, this is how it works. For every point of stamina you use in a successful clear, you get one item. For example, for a 50 stamina ultimate stage, if you beat it, you do get 50, what is it called? Snowflakes. Yeah, you do get 50 snowflakes. And during the event, there is a shop where you can use these snowflakes to exchange them for character cards from previous events, or for materials, or different resources. And so, this is a nice way of encouraging stamina use. And normally, the resources and the materials are pretty good to get, but you also have access to some older cards that you may have missed if you're just joining the game recently. That being said, some of these older cards, because they were free to play, were never that powerful. So use your snowflakes wisely. There may be cards that don't see play anymore, but they're just there because they were previous Christmas cards. But yeah, we do get exchange snowflakes for free rewards. Um, what do you get? So you get Christmas hat, frame, Nova H series wallpaper, Christmas Guild characters, returning Christmas outfits, exclusive Dragon Port for Nova H, which, ooh, this is here. Oh, that's kind of cool. Star's microphone, which is going to be the exclusive Dragonware for the Nova H series. The charge, oh, launching attacks. Okay, if you are planning on getting all 5 Nova H cards, this Dragonware craft is a must get for you because launching attacks was is the way to charge your craft in 2 rounds. And if you can do that, you can be invincible by constantly activating your sparkling idle power. So definitely get this Dragonware so you can equip it because not only you charge through launching attacks, but you also get the Dragonware skills, which skill CD -3 is really good. I already said how -2 was really good. -3 is even better. By dissolving 20 or more runestones, 1.15 attack increase, and activating your active skill, the character's attack increases by 1.5 additional. And also keep in mind that once you combine your Dragonware's effects, I think they stack. They might not, but if they do, you are benefiting a lot. But skill cooldown -3 is a lot and is really good. And because the charge is launching attacks, it is, in my opinion, a must get if you're planning on playing the 5 combination Nova H combination team. And then lastly, we have exchange diamonds for rare characters. So you can exchange, go to the characters exchange shop to exchange diamonds for previous collector deck cards. And honestly, that might not be a bad idea, um, depending on how much they cost. Because, as I was saying before, you had to spend 100 diamonds for 5 cards in the previous collector's deck. And so that would be an average of, without counting the materials, that is basically 20 diamonds per card. So if it is cheaper than that, it might be worth because you can get the cards that you need without having to go through the RNG of the collector's deck. So in my opinion, this is really good. And so this here should incentivize you to not pull for Nova H if you don't have the diamonds, because Nova H might come back and you might be able to choose your card in the future. That being said, it might come back in 2 years, and by then, who knows who will be still playing the game. But I think, again, diamond efficiency, I wouldn't spend diamond on the collector's deck if you are free to play, because there are better options out there. Especially, Lunar New Year is coming in 2 months, and there's always a really broken card that comes out there. So you might want to save your diamonds until then. Who knows? But yeah, that's the end of this week's GNN news. That was a very long one. But basically, to recap, we do have a new challenge stage for the ongoing collaboration, the Sailor Moon collaboration, which is Super Sailor Uranus. Super Sailor Uranus actually has a pretty good active skill, and I do recommend for you to get at least one copy of her, as well as her exclusive Dragon one. We have a new Chain Battles, which is going to be Junjun, and honestly, her active skill is not that great, but you should still get one copy so that you can get the final collaboration card that requires you to collect all of them. Also, collecting merits is good because you can also exchange those merits for different rewards and different resources. After that, we do have a new collector's deck being debuted through the Nova H series, and these character cards are going to be the original counterparts to Zombie Gamer, to Evolve Simon, Mothra, Alphonse Elric, and Chandler. Their active skills are basically retrains of those original active skills, and some of them are really good. Except for Zombie Gamer, all four of the other active skills are really good and definitely worth getting if you have the financial resources and the diamonds you need to pull for all of these characters. If you don't have that many diamonds, if you're free to play, I do recommend for you to save your diamonds because Lunar New Year is just across the corner. Actually, I think Lunar New Year happens in January this year, so we have less than a month or about a month until Lunar New Year, which is when a new black hole card is released typically for the game. So I do recommend saving diamonds for that uh, if you are free to play. I will say her gameplay is really fun because it resembles the Gurren Lagann team, but at this point it's been so long that there's so many other teams that a Gurren Lagann team, well, fun, may not have enough utility because there are so many annoying shields, things like that, that you may encounter some problems with all their playstyles. Um, Other than that, we have a new item collecting event with new rewards, so make sure you spend your stamina and get those materials that you need. Um, we have a exclusive Dragonware for the Nova H series, and in my opinion, it is a must get if you're planning on playing the new combination team. But yeah, that is all for this week's GNN news. Thank you for sticking with me to the end, and let me know in the comments if I missed or said anything wrong. But yeah, for now, stay tuned on my YouTube channel. I will be posting more clear videos as well as more guides and things like that. So make sure you don't miss out when I release those. For now, stay safe, stay healthy, and I will see you in the next one. Bye, everyone.